So I want to ask you both about a core strategic question that your task force looked at, but you say you were unable to reach consensus about, and that's the question of whether we should maintain what's called the policy of strategic ambiguity, where we never quite say that we would be prepared to come to Taiwan's defense. President Biden has made statements, but they're quickly uh, 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 adjusted afterwards, so as to preserve this ambiguity. Or instead, we should move to a policy of strategic clarity, where we make clear if China attacks Taiwan, we will come to Taiwan's defense, much as we've pledged to do with Japan and South Korea. I know that your group as a whole wasn't able to reach a consensus. I wonder if each of you would be willing to say what your own view is on which course is wisest. Let me ask Mike to start.
I'm not sure. I think the fact that we couldn't and didn't come to consensus is instructive, David. My own position on that, and this comes out of visiting in Taiwan a year ago, March, that ambiguity has worked very well, and there's no incredibly clear indication that we should change that policy at this particular point in time. I worry, quite frankly, that if we move to strategic clarity, we actually move closer to the possibility of war. And that's just my personal view. I also think the policy discussion with respect to this is probably a little bit overhyped in terms of making a difference one way or another. One of the reasons I think that this study is so important is there's a lot of information about this incredibly complex situation embedded in the study itself that even I didn't understand because when I was serving, I was focused on obviously the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. There's a great deal to be learned about the history here, the current situation, and I just didn't think the decision with respect to this policy was that compelling one way or another.